Okay, welcome to TCBC Bicycle University for May 13th, 2026. My name is Edward Ero, and I am the coordinator for BikeU. Tonight, we have a new format program called the TCBC Ride Showcase 2026. There will be several ride leaders and others talking about the many rides that our club puts on. The program will be fast-paced, so get ready for lots of great information. Before we begin, however, I just have a few short announcements. This is the third session of Bike U for the 2026 ride year. If you have not heard the first session, which was 402 days, 13 months together on bikes with Diana and John Munger, or the second session on transitioning to an e-bike, and the sessions from the 2025 ride year, on the swap meet, fundamentals of group riding, bicycling into your 80s and beyond, and sessions from 2024 and 2023. So this is now the fourth year we've been using this type of format for Bike U. Um, uh, Please go to the Bike U page off the main TCBC website where you'll find a link to each of the sessions and the YouTube channel. Tonight, at the conclusion of the meeting, I will we'll have the recording. I'll have to do some editing and it'll probably be posted up tomorrow. A new addition to Bike U is that we now have surveys. So we started that the last program. This can be filled out after each program that we do. And if you go back and watch another program, you can actually go in and do a survey. We are going to use the results of these surveys to help us improve and collect information ideas for future programs. Since all TCBC Bike U programs for the last 4 years are available, you will be able to, as I said, fill out a survey. The survey page is in the chat. It's right there. There's a link after the session. You can or go ahead and click on it so you have it ready on your computer when the program's done. And we really do ask that you fill it out. I want to thank Jim Pedersen for helping us create that page for us. I want to give a thanks to our Council of Regents, which includes John Benda, Tim Rand, and Dan Miller. If anyone else would like to join the council, please contact me as we welcome others to participate, and we want the council to be representative of the entire club. Additionally, that we cover subjects that you want to see. I was asked to give a quick plug for our membership contest that's going on. This is a chance to introduce friends to the club and earn prizes when they do join. When new members sign up early in the season, they get a full year to enjoy everything TCBC offers, and you can get credit for the referral. See the forum for more information and get more members. And talking to Fran on Monday, it does seem to like we're getting a number of. You have until the end of this month. During the session tonight, please keep your audio muted, but do keep your video on so we can show who is in attendance. Remember, we are recording. If you don't have yourself on mute and make any noise, it switches to your video and thus the recording gets messed up. There will be a question and answer session after the presentation, but during the meeting, you can enter questions in the Zoom chat. We will be monitoring those questions and make sure they get answered during the Q&A. Please do not interrupt the speakers to ask questions during the presentation. I would like to now introduce Dan Miller, who is our member of our committee, who has done an absolutely outstanding job in not only coming up with this great idea, but also organizing it all. We hope this will be an annual program for Bike U. Dan will be the moderator, and other members of the Bike Council of Regents will be, Bike U Council of Regents will be monitoring questions, and John Benda will be the timekeeper, and I'll be monitoring the chat function. So over to you, Dan. Unmute yourself. Unmute yourself.
That's going to be one that we're going to have to work on with the amount of speakers we have tonight. Thank you for everybody that's been tuned in, and thank you for the speakers that agreed to present a ride. A couple of things in your chat. There is an order of speakers, which is similar to, very close to what was sent out to speakers earlier today. Another thing to realize is that we have found out tonight that on the share button, it shows up on a Mac as a green arrow on the bottom of the screen. You could share something that you would like to present tonight, like a PowerPoint or a few photos or whatever. So that was something I was unaware of until tonight. So we're going to begin. Many of our speakers have more than one ride that they would like to introduce. We're going to go with a soft 3 minutes. John Benda is going to be our timekeeper, and he is going to do a 1, 2, 3. And if you need to go a little longer, we're going to let you go. But there's a point where we're going to try to make sure we're fair to all the speakers here tonight and to move on. And we will pick it up at the end. Questions that you might want to ask in the PDF. Edward is going to be following that closely, and I think it would be great to fill that up and see what we can do. We're looking at about an hour program with 17 speakers, and we'll go from there. So we're going to start out with Mary Dirks, whom is a venerable ride leader and a personality that I think we are all going to be anxious to hear from. So go ahead, Mary.
Thanks a lot, Dan. As Dan mentioned, my name is Mary Dirks. I've been a ride leader with TCBC for about 24 years and have really enjoyed leading rides. So I want to talk about the weekly ride that we do and also a couple of outreach rides. So to start out with the weekly ride. So I, along with my husband Scott Larson and other ride leaders in the club, we lead a long-standing weekly ride on Wednesday evenings in the summer called the Whole Enchilada in Little Canada. It was kind of born out of my love for Mexican food and nachos and whatnot. But we typically have three levels on the ride, like an A or an A plus, an A, B, and a B. Sometimes we have a BC level. Distances are anywhere from 24 to 31. The goal is so that everybody kind of finishes at the same time. So the longer, there's the 31-mile route is for the A and A plus riders, and the 24-mile route is for the shorter or for the B or BC level. So that again, so everyone tries to get it done around the same time. And with having these different levels, the goal is that people can find the right group to ride in. And maybe you want to stretch yourself, so you're going to ride with a faster group, and you have a backstop. So if it's a little faster than you anticipated, you can always fall back to the group behind you. So the nice thing with these multi-level rides is there isn't as much variation within the groups. So you're riding with people fairly close to your level. Our average speeds are probably 14 to 20 plus. So if it's a wide range of people, the terrain on the road is very gently rolling. And the key is we refuel afterwards at a nearby brewery or restaurant. So it's pretty low key, a lot of fun. A lot of fun to do that ride. Next up are a couple of outreach rides. So the first one, for those of you unfamiliar with outreach rides that are newer to the club, these are rides that are put on by organizations other than TCBC and are located in, the rides take place either in Minnesota or a surrounding state, and they're part of TCBC's ride program. And what these rides allow us to do as a club is to see other parts of the region and also to promote our club. So what we really ask people to do is wear their TCBC jersey on these rides, and then it's a way for us to promote our club and support other clubs and organizations as well. So the first outreach ride is Tour of Lakes. So this one is a 3-day weekend ride in the Brainerd Lakes area on June 5th through the 7th. It's really nice riding. Some of my favorite riding is in the Brainerd Lakes area. It's just gently rolling. The road conditions are exceptional. The highlight of the weekend is the Saturday ride, which is the Tour of Lakes ride, and that's put on by the Paul Bunyan cyclists out of Brainerd. So this is the actual outreach ride. So this year's Tour Lakes ride starts in Crosby. The ride is really known for its rest stop. So think tacos, pancakes, fresh fruit, root beer floats, etc. You will not be disappointed at all in the rest stops. It's just fabulous. So that's the Saturday Tour of Lakes ride on Friday and Sunday of that weekend. Scott and I, along with Gene Hurlbert, we lead TCBC rides, so kind of making it a full weekend of riding. It's really about, socialization and getting together with fellow club members. Because when we're not riding, we get together like Friday night, we'll go to Big Axe Brewing and enjoy dinner and socialization there. There's a number of different places you can go in the Brainerd Lakes area or in Nisswa to have dinner, or Brainerd Lakes in general. Same on Saturday night for those staying in the Good Old Days Resort. There is we have a potluck. So again, it's just the weekend. It's a lot of fun. It's been on for around 20 years, and just a really relaxed vibe. So do I have time to introduce BAM, or should I pass? I'll just quickly say the other outreach ride is BAM Bicycling Around Minnesota. So this is a 4-day outreach ride from August 13th through the 16th in the Detroit Lakes, Otter Tail County area. This is organized by the Bicycle Alliance of Minnesota. I'm the tour director for the ride. The ride leaders are Diane Zemer, Scott Larson, and Peggy Shepard, and Diane will be talking about it in her section.
Thank you, Mary. That was wonderful. Okay, we're on to our next speaker, Chuck Faison. I hope I'm saying your name correctly, and I'll let you go ahead and go forward. Thank you, Chuck.
Yep. Thanks, Dan. So hi, everyone. I just wanted to tell you about 2 rides that we have on the west side of the Twin Cities. The first one is West Side Monday. This is a multi-level ride that is Monday evenings, and it runs from May through September. What we do is we roll out from Minnetonka at about 6 p.m. and explore the West Metro. So that's Hopkins, Edina, Eden Prairie, Minnetonka, Plymouth, as well as the Lake Minnetonka area. If you haven't ridden out there much, then we think it's some of the best riding in the Twin Cities. So it's a nice opportunity to get together with people and explore that end of town. What I really like about West Side Monday is that it really is a multi-level ride. We try to get something for everyone. Essentially, what we have is 3 levels right now. We have an A group that averages about 18 to 20 mile an hour. And depending on how much sunlight we have, we will run a route of about 25 to 35 miles. Our biggest, most popular group is our AB group, and they're going to average around 17 to 18 miles an hour, so classic AB pace, and stick to a route of around 25 miles. And then last but not least, we have a B group that does a 20-mile route at about 15 mile an hour average. And this has been a great option for people that are newer to group riding and just want more of a relaxed evening. We usually get 15 to 25 riders across all of the levels. And the big part, my favorite part of all, is it is a very social ride. So we ride together as a group. And after we finish, most of us head over to the Scoreboard restaurant for dinner and drinks. So you're not just getting a ride, you're getting a Monday evening with a great group of people.
1 minute.
Thank you. Then the second ride I wanted to talk about is our Saturday Cafe ride. So this one's for folks that want to put in more miles. We follow a classic cafe ride tradition, which is popular out in Europe, where we're going to ride out somewhere and then stop for coffee in the middle, have some conversation, some coffee. I always have a scone, and then we ride back. These are longer routes, so we're targeting 50 to 75 miles that typically we're going to start from 9 a.m. in Wayzata. And it's right now, it's not a multi-ride, it's a pace ride. So we're going to do 18 to 19 mile an hour. And most of our routes stay in the Lake Minnetonka area. One thing I'm kind of proud of is we do keep the old cruising the Crow tradition alive in TCBC. So we'll go up and down the Crow River and sometimes out toward Waconia. And then every so often we switch things up and we head over east and we'll do some rides out of St. Paul and Stillwater and hit western Wisconsin. So we try to stay kind of to our base in the west, but branch out because there's truly some nice roads out there.
That's time.
And then, well, that's time. So thank you, everybody.
Nice.
Thank you, Chuck. That was terrific. You know, we're organizing tonight. The list of speakers is bouncing around to different sections of the metro area and different ride levels. And this is one that I'm impressed with because I don't get it. I'd really like to get out and join you on some of your rides. It sounds fantastic. So. Our next speaker is Faith Johnson, who comes out of Minneapolis and does a tremendous series. So, Faith, go ahead when you're ready.
Okay, so I'm talking about the Wednesday from Webster ride. This is from Webster Elementary in Northeast Minneapolis. It's a Wednesday evening ride. We go about 20 miles. We're working up to 20 miles. Should be 20 miles shortly. It's a sea ride in kind of the middle of the sea range, so probably averaging about 10 miles an hour. It's a weekly ride, so we try to go from the end of April to the beginning of October. We ride as long as we can for the light. So the light is really our limiting factor. It's a great way to know sea riders who don't have the daytime available. Um, and also, it's really nice to ride in the evening light. It's really special in the evenings in the Midwest. We're in the middle of Minneapolis, more or less, and we have a strong bias towards the trails, the boulevards, the routes, which are actually pretty exceptional at this point in Minneapolis. We do different routes. We maybe repeat 2 or 3 times a year. So we sometimes go up and down the river up to 694, but then other times we'll go up and down the river down to Minnehaha Park. So it kind of can get both extremes of the river. We do look for flat routes, try to really cater to the sea rides, but we are on the river. So our hills end up being the bridges. So if we're doing a couple, 3 bridges, we'll get some hills in there, at least sea level hills. And we go all directions out of the city. Um, and I guess our quintessential route, if I had a route that really framed the ride, it would be down to Minnehaha Park and back. And sometimes, like if we stop, we usually stop in the middle, so in a park. So sometimes if it's Minnehaha or Silverwood or someplace like that, we'll get like 5-10 minutes of entertainment while we're sitting there relaxing. And I think that's it.
Thank you, Faith. Starting out of Northeast Minneapolis, close to home, and a great series of rides that you can check out on the ride calendar. So our next speaker is Diane Zemer.
All right. Thanks, Dan. My name is Diane Zemer. I've been a TCBC member 20 years now. Hard to believe. I've been a ride leader for 18 years now. The first ride I'm going to talk about is Grand Rapids overnight. It's an overnight weekend we do. This will be my 18th year running it. Some years I rotate between Grand Rapids and the Iron Range out of the Eveleth Gilbert area. The Grand Rapids rides, it is listed as AB, but I always look for additional ride leaders. And the last couple of years, we've had B groups and BC groups attend as well. We base, a lot of us camp out of the Pokagama Dam campgrounds right there in Cohasset next to Grand Rapids. The rides start in Grand Rapids. There's a little grocery store there we park close to. The rides all take place in Itasca County. Great rolling roads, good pavement. They keep the roads up really well, nice shoulders, bike lanes in some areas. Some areas, not the widest shoulders, but really great riding up there. We also will ride parts of the Masabi Trail as well. Very scenic. Part of a lot of the fun with Grand Rapids weekend, it's 3 days, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We have the opportunity, we camp. A lot of people will stay in hotels as well. We do like a Friday night dinner at a to be determined establishment there local in town. The Saturday night out at the campgrounds, we do a big potluck, and we've got all groups levels riding with us. So that's a great one. The other ride I'm going to talk about is Mary is the tour director for BAM, and this year we got it approved as an outreach ride. So I'm excited to be a ride leader on that. I've helped Mary in the past couple years with that, and it's a great 4 day ride. And riding with TCBC group can really make that fun and exciting, and show our club off to have that opportunity. Great activities going on up in Detroit Lakes. We're basing out of the fairgrounds, the Becker Fairgrounds, and Mary's got all sorts of activities lined up for us for that. So you can read about it, and hopefully shortly I'll have those on the calendar, the ride scheduled as well on that. Running out of time, I'm going to quickly just jump to Withrow and Beyond on Monday nights. We draw an A plus, an A, an AB, and in the AB group, we also sometimes run 2 groups in that, all through Washington County back roads. No stop signs till the end of the ride. So that's a great one. And the Lift Bridge Brewery ride, also out of Washington County. Another one where we have multiple levels. So great riding in Washington County. So time's up. All right. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, Diane. And I hope that there are still some places available on BAM. And if you haven't considered it, having done it many times, it's a great ride, as well as Grand Rapids. Wonderful, wonderful rides. So
Thanks,
our next speaker is George Skinner. Go ahead, George.
Hello, I'm George Skinner, and with me is my wife, Ann Hanley. I'll discuss our Southwest Metro Rambles 1 through 11 and Mississippi and Minnesota River rides. Sometimes we offer multi-level rides. I lead the B group and Ann leads a C version, shorter and bypassing some hills. I ride a road bike and Ann an e-bike. Attendance has been light so far. 2 or 3 riders is common, 7's my largest group. I schedule rides on random days, a few days in advance based on weather forecasts. Southwest Metro Ramble rides often start at Minnetonka's Ice Arena A parking lot. Another common Southwest Metro Ramble ride start location is Starring Lane Park, just north of Flying Cloud Airport. Both Southwest Metro Ramble start locations have indoor restrooms, water, and electric car charging. The Mississippi and Minnesota River route starts from Mendota's Big Rivers Regional Trailhead, which has indoor restrooms and water. The Southwest Metro Ramble rides go from Minnetonka or Eden Prairie through Shakopee, Chaska, Carver, or Victoria, then back through Chanhassen or Excelsior. We pass through many wooded areas and have pretty lake and river views. The Mississippi and Minnesota River route goes from Big Rivers Regional Trailhead around the airport to the Ford Bridge, then to St. Paul, Robert Street Bridge, Ohio Street Hill, and back via neighborhood streets, Highway 13, and trails. Some routes are rolling. On others, I seek out long or sometimes steep hills to climb. Please read the route description and review the elevation profile to know what to expect. Most routes are paved residential streets, low traffic roads with wide shoulders, or off-road bike trails. A few routes use limestone trails in part. Routes are 30 to 40 miles. We pass many parks with porta potties and will stop as needed. Southwest Metro Ramble long breaks are at Bittner's Bakery in Shakopee,
1 minute.
Jones Coffee or Red Bench Bakery in Chaska, and the Getaway Motor Cafe in Carver. The Mississippi and Minnesota River route long break is at Little Brazil, Minnesota Market and Cafe. I don't try to lead a pace line. All rides are no drop. If we get spread out, I'll stop to regroup before any major changes in direction. I carry a good number of tools and an electric pump should anyone have a mechanical issue. Most route pavement is good, but leaving space between riders to be able to see and avoid hazards is a good idea. I don't mind being passed, especially on hills where everyone will be riding at their own pace. If you're a real hill rocket, feel free to go back down and climb back past me a second or even a third time. We look forward to seeing you. Thank you.
George and Ann, that was fantastic. All the reason for me to get out of Northeast Minneapolis and get down to the Southwest region. Our next speaker is our venerable Carol Fitzgerald.
Mute. There I am. Sorry, I couldn't find the unmute. My name is Carol Fitzgerald. I've been a ride leader for 14 or 15 years, but I'm here to talk about the Spring All Club Ride. Doug Nelson is camping in Wisconsin, or he'd be here sharing the information about the Spring All Club Rides with you. He's been organizing this event for many years. The Spring All Club Ride started back in 1995 and has always been held on Memorial Day weekend. For the first few years, it was called the Paul Grissom Memorial Ride, as a tribute to Paul, one of the founders of our club, who had passed away. Several years later, the name was changed to the All Club Ride. This annual event has always started somewhere in the northern suburbs with beautiful routes on the lovely roads of Washington County. The club used to have a big picnic ride on Labor Day weekend. In 2010, that became the Fall All Club Ride starting in Minnetonka with routes in the western suburbs. In 2019, the Spring All Club Ride moved the starting location to Hugo using 4 routes designed by Bob Floyd. We missed 2 years due to COVID. Then in 2022, we returned to Hugo for our 6th year. Bob redid some of the routes, and we've been using those same routes ever since. So thank you, Bob. Riding out of Hugo quickly gets us into beautiful Washington County, where the roads are smooth, there are usually nice wide shoulders, and if we're lucky, we have a tailwind in some direction. Doug is in charge of the weather thing, and although he doesn't have a great track record for the 4th of July rides, maybe he can work some weather magic for the Spring All Club rides. Gene Bentley helped Doug for a few years, and somehow this year I noticed my name as one of the organizers. Must have been dozing off when that happened. I'm happy to be involved since this is a great event. It's a good chance to meet fellow bikers and ride leaders that you may not normally ride with. It's also a great chance to explore the northeast side of the cities where so many of us love to ride.
1 minute.
If you check the ride calendar, all the colors of the rainbow are there for ride level, speed, and distance, all the way from 21 to 69 miles. And this year, Johnny Pugh is doing a B-level gravel ride to add to the fun. Doug always drives and sometimes rides the routes 2 or 3 times to make sure no road work is going on. And I've frequently ridden many of these roads already this season. Come explore the great riding out of Hugo, ride with friends and meet new ones. Make sure to show up a little early in time to get ready, use the porta potties, check yourself in on the rider lists at the table, and find your group and ride leaders. At 9:30 a.m., there's a group photo, some short announcements, and a quick safety briefing before we split into groups and ride off a minute or 2 apart. In past years, we've had a little over 100 riders, and Don Picard has taken some great photos of riders heading out, some suitable for framing. You can ride in one of the groups or ride on your own or with friends. The routes are all available in the postings on the ride calendar for you to print, download, or pin to your phone. A few cue sheets will be provided. Please come join us for some really fun rides in a great area. I'm done.
Oh, Carol, you packed a lot in there
Yeah.
in your 3 minutes. Thank you so much. So, we have a beautiful day in the neighborhood coming up here with Mr. John Rogers. Go ahead, John.
Thanks, Dan. Actually, my main ride is Mr. Rogers' neighborhood for obvious reasons. I've been a ride leader for over 6 years, I think now. I've been a long time member, 20 plus years with the club. I'm going to try and share a map here, which kind of covers both rides. I don't know, can everybody see that? I hope so. Um, Mr. Rogers' neighborhood is a 43-mile out and back ride. Beautiful day in the neighborhood is 26-mile loop. As you can see on the map, the ride starts at the green arrow at the bottom of the map, and we ride the same route, which is the part we ride together is marked with an orange line. The other parts are for the BC group is red, and the dark red or brown is the AB group. Um, so we ride for 5.6 miles where the AB group turns left for a larger loop, and we cover the same route again at the 161st and Hanson Boulevard, but not generally at the same time, although we sometimes meet along the way. Uh, since we arrive at McDonald's at the rest stop at about the same time for a 20 to 30 minute rest stop. From there, the AB group returns along the same route, while the BC group returns on roads and trails of Bunker Hills Park. There's fallback options for AB riders or strong B riders who wish to break away from the AB group and join the BC group. And that's at the 5.6 mile where we break off to the left on the AB group, or at the rest stop at the 21.5 mile spot for the AB group. Additional information, the AB group averages 16 and a half to 17 and a half miles per hour, and the BC averages about 12 to 12.5 miles an hour. Mr. Rogers has 970 feet of elevation, but it's all gradual climbs. There's no big hills. Most of the roads are quiet residential with little traffic, and most of the busier roads have good shoulders, except for a couple short segments that have narrow or no shoulders but low traffic. I think that's about all I have. Thanks.
Thank you, John. That's fantastic. I've been on some of these rides, and they are terrific. It's great to get up into the northern area of the metro and to see some interesting flatlands and to enjoy that. So next we have Mr. Norman Ehrenreich. Hope I'm saying that right, and will give us a little review from our Minnesota Randonneuring. Thank you.
Thank you, Dan. So I don't want to present a single ride. I want to present the rides that we offer as Minnesota Randonneurs. And I want to start sharing a screen. So you should be able to see a screen now. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay, great. So let me jump into Minnesota Randonneurs and TCBC. So we've been part of TCBC for a long time before we became, more independent. But our shorter rides are still listed on the TCBC website. Everything under 200K up to 200K is listed on the TCBC website. So typically we're known for our longer rides, 300, 400, 600K. Kool Challenge, 1200K. But I want to focus on actually 3 programs that we offer. The winter program, our road program, smaller, up to 200K, and then our gravel rides. So first, I'd like to say, if you want to ride with us, you have to be a member of Randonneuring USA, RUSA. So that's $30 per year, the membership. Minnesota Randonneurs membership is optional. It would be $25 per year. You can pay a per ride fee instead. So as I said, we have 3 programs, as I call it, and I offer the winter program. So if you want to stay fit over the winter, We offer at least two 200-kilometer rides and 100-kilometer rides each winter. Specifically designed for winter riding, these routes, flat as can be, called the pancake rides. And for those rides, what you can expect for speed, I'd like to keep the group together in winter riding. So for our other road program, speed varies very much from A, B, B, C. C is a little sketchy, so, but
1 minute now. 1 minute.
And you should be perhaps prepared to ride alone, maybe up to until the first controls. The shorter rides, people tend to stick together more. So in winter ride, we offer also then some awards the more miles you accrue. And let's jump over to the road program. So we have a bunch of rides smaller than 200K. They're all listed here. Then we have under our 200K events. We also often offer them when we have longer options. Here, we will share this presentation. You can click on this link. Then you can go to RV GPS and you can explore these rides in more detail. They're more on the south side, on the east side. You can ride them as permanents if you want RUSA credit. So I want to point out the dart ride. So if you're worried about speed, dart ride is a team event, 3 to 5 riders, same speed. You're supposed to finish around 8 hours. So that's a good start. I have a Shoreview dart from my house with barbecue and pool party afterwards in July. That would be a good start to get to know randonneuring. And then we also have the gravel program, also under 200K, most of the rides. We have awards. Most of the rides are in Class B gravel roads, very passable with 30-millimeter tires. And again, here is our gravel ride collection. You can click on the link. I'll make sure that we can send out this presentation to everyone on the presentation here on this meeting. And then you can explore. And yeah, if you have any questions, send us a link. And I hope to see some of you on one of our rides.
Thank you, Norman.
Okay.
That's fantastic. And having reviewed some of your maps, it's a very exciting thing that I think that we'll be able to send out. Unfortunately, my only time with randonneuring has been when I arrived and I forgot one of the wheels at home, and so I couldn't begin my randonneuring adventures. So thank you. Our next speaker up is Scott Hagen, who has some exciting programs, and I'll let him go forward from there.
All right. Can you hear me okay? Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Fantastic. Yeah. Okay. Yes. I want to go ahead and talk about a couple of events. One of them is going to be my series ride this summer. It's called Evenings in the Park. It's on Thursday nights. And as you heard Mary Dirks talking about whole enchilada earlier this evening, this ride is kind of patterned after that particular event. We do have a multi-level ride. There is an AB version, a B version, and a BC version. And the distances range from 22 miles to 30. Run Thursdays between Memorial Day and Labor Day. And it starts from the St. Louis Park Middle School. And we run it out to Wayzata and back. So it's all familiar roads. These are roads that are in very good shape. I did go ahead and change the routes from last year. I did run this series last summer. And with construction and with lots of potholes on the original route, decided to go ahead and change it up this year. So that will run again this Thursdays, and I have a number of ride leaders already set to help run that event. this summer, and I'm looking for more and helping out with that ride. Just let me know. The second one that I want to talk about is an outreach ride. Now that is one that probably a lot of you are familiar with. It is the Chippewa Valley Century. I think it was affectionately called the Leinenkugel Century for years. And it's one that I've been on, oh my gosh, at least a dozen times over the years. And that one runs Labor Day weekend, and it's actually coming up here on May 24th. And they do have multiple distances. Distances range from 35 miles. They got a 50-mile route, a 75-mile route, and a 100-mile route. And they've got all the obligatory bells and whistles for a century ride, or for all the rides, I should say. They do have sag wagons available. They do have multiple rest stops, water stops. At the end of the ride, they do have a brat feed with all the fixings, which is really quite nice. And the ride right now, up until May 23rd, is at $75, and it'll be $85 day before and day of. And it starts and finishes at the Northern Wisconsin State Fairgrounds. And one thing I should note, they are celebrating their 40th anniversary this year. They've run it for 40 years. So it has been an institution out there. So it's an hour and a half away. Definitely worth checking out. That's what I got.
Thank you, Scott. Chippewa Valley ride is a great ride and a great feed afterwards, and a great time to sit back and allow yourself to ride Chippewa Falls and back. And I know that Scott has put out a number of notices about looking for some help for some secondary leaders on his rides. And believe me, out of Robbinsdale, good stuff going on over there. So thank you. Mr. Bob Gambrill is going to be up next. We're heading from the West Metro into the East Metro. So Larry Brown, go ahead.
I have a different point of view. And instead of talking about rides that I've led, and this is my third year as a ride leader with the club, I get to talk about my favorite ride leader and some of my favorite rides. I'm going to talk about some of Johnny Pugh's rides. And the reason why Johnny can't do that himself is he's also our most prolific ride leader. And he's either leading a ride right now or planning one. So the rides that I would like to touch on are the Market Happy Hour, which starts at Malcolm Yards Market, the St. Paul Brewery ride, and the Sunday Brunch ride. Most of Johnny's rides start in the East Metro. In fact, most of them start in St. Paul, although a few of them start in St. Paul's largest suburb, Minneapolis. That was humor. And all of his rides have quite a bit in common. All of his rides are B rides, and taken right from one of Johnny's ride briefings, it is a B-level experience, not necessarily a B-level speed. Johnny does most of his rides on trails or very low traffic roads. Since he's doing most of his rides in either Minneapolis or St. Paul, some of the trails are where you, instead of pointing out holes, you go, no hole, no hole. So some of the rides are rough. So Johnny's rides tend to be at the end of the lower level of a B ride because of the terrain. I've never been on one of Johnny's rides with less than 10 people. A lot of Johnny's rides are limited, and he limits them to 18, and they usually fill up. The only time I've been on one of Johnny's rides that had less than 10 people was because he was out of town and I was leading it.
1 minute.
Okay, so what his rides also have in common is they are always finish with a social gathering, which I think is a high point of Johnny's rides, because at that social gathering, you get a chance to meet people, make friends, get advice, and get some very interesting food and drink. All of Johnny's rides also have about a half an hour break so that you have another chance to socialize, maybe have coffee and so on. So what I wanted to do really quickly was to show you how exciting Johnny's rides can be, because even if you're doing one of his weekly rides, chances are you will never do the same ride twice, because Johnny has about 18 different routes that he uses. And they start out as very simple routes like this one here, which I'm intending to share. Okay, and if you see that one, it's pretty simple. All right, let's go to another one. I'm not sure how to do this. I want to get to, okay, how do I stop sharing? Ah, there, okay. Yeah, okay. And I will skip some of them and take you to one of his more complicated rides. And by complicated, I'm talking about the route. And I can say that one time my wife was looking at one of Johnny's routes and she said, it looks like you gave a kid a crayon and started scribbling. So his rides are very interesting because I, for one, have seen places that I didn't even know existed in the cities. Also, I think Johnny could do a 20-mile ride in Como Park because he knows every trail and every nook and cranny of that park.
Time's up, Harry.
I invite you all to join one of Johnny's rides. Thank you.
Dan, you're muted. Dan, you're muted.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Larry. John does great rides, and we are lucky to have that skill in being able to discover new areas within the St. Paul and Minneapolis areas, so, or the St. Paul suburb. So we will have up next is Bob Gambrill, starting from the North Metro area. Bob, go ahead.
Yeah, Northwest Metro, exactly, which is actually where the best bike riding in the Twin Cities is. I'm trying to share here. How do I share? Share. Okay, hopefully you can see. I'm going to cover 3 rides. John has already mentioned a beautiful day in the neighborhood, which is in the Northwest Metro. And Mary Miller should be talking about some Friday park-to-park rides, which cover the same area. This may be clipped here a little. I can't see the title. Can anybody? Oh, there it is. This is a Dam to Two Scoops ride. It's a Saturday ride. This was done after the request for us to put on more weekend rides, and it's actually become pretty much the most interesting ride and most attended ride. I get a lot of riders on this one. I've got a lot of details here. I'm going to share a link, but the main thing is we have an ice cream stop at Two Scoops in Anoka. Some people say that's the best ice cream in Minnesota. It actually comes from an ice cream maker in Madison, and people that have been to Madison said that's the best ice cream in Wisconsin. So I don't know about that, but it's pretty good. So this gives a lot of the details and some of the pictures about the ride. I'm going to then go to the next ride. If I can do this. Okay, next ride is Thursday evenings, and it's during a concert series in Champlin that starts end of May and then runs through August. Okay, May 28th through August 20th. So I try to hit as many of those as I can. We show up at 4 o'clock at an empty parking lot, and I have one of the photos I have on the lower right-hand corner shows chairs set up at 3 o'clock or after. So we have an empty parking lot. We put up chairs, and then what we do is we do a nice ride through Elm Creek Park. We get back. When we get back, we can listen to music, go to food trucks, and then there's a Jensen's Market, which is really nice. The last ride I'm going to talk about is on the Thursdays that I'm not doing that music ride. This is a ride that I did today, and this is very squiggly. It's related to squad rats. If anybody's interested in learning more about it, I can explain later or at another time, but there's a link there to squad rats, and it's basically a game trying to cover as much area as you can. And Johnny Pugh, by the way, is one of the leaders in Minnesota. He has covered the most area in Minnesota of all the riders that are doing squad rats. That is all I have. I will try to share a link with these for these slides in the chat. I'm done.
Okay, thank you, Bob. Yeah, we're going to try to get this links together and be able to share that out somehow. And yeah, what great stuff! I'm amazed to listen to you and to hear what you're having to say here compared to just reading a ride description. It's wonderful. I need to get up there and join you folks. Our next speaker is Mr. Mike Beatles, and Mike is coming out of the West Metro.
Yes, that I am. I'd like to talk about two rides today. The first ride is called Dalbo Dash. This is a ride that one of the riders came to me after he did a cross-country ride. There was a bunkhouse in Minnesota, Dalbo, Minnesota. Most people have never heard of Dalbo, Minnesota. There's a bunkhouse in Dalbo, Minnesota that can accommodate up to 60 people. And so we started in Monticello. And then he mapped out all the routes for me, and then I checked them out, make sure they were okay. But so the first time we ran it 2 years ago, it was an 80-mile ride the first day, so we made it an AB ride, and then a 45-mile ride the second day. It's 2 days. It's an overnight ride because we stay overnight in the bunkhouse, and there was some options for privacy for the people who wanted rooms where they just two people in a room, but that was what, like four rooms for that. So we were able to accommodate people just fine. Yeah, way to go, Norman. You've been there. Awesome. Yeah, so it's quite a fun ride. And we carry the bags for you in a support vehicle. And we go to and from town at the Dusty Eagle in Dalbo, Minnesota, for the evening, and then we stay overnight. And there's showers and a outdoor biffy, and it's just very, very nice. It's a fun ride. I didn't get to ride it last year because of a medical condition, but I'm hoping to actually get it going again this year. The second ride that I wanted to talk about is called the Angelic Excursion Ride. So hopefully this comes up. And so the Angelic Excursion, it used to be called Depot Depart because it was in Hopkins Depot. And the Hopkins Depot was I am screen sharing. Okay. The Hopkins Depot was under construction. The trail or wasn't open, or for a few years. Now it's open again. So I actually had to move the start point to Angel Food Bakery in St. Louis Park, which is 2 miles closer for home. So green miles. I didn't get as many green miles riding to and from the ride, but I was able to just change the name of it to Tim Rand came up with the idea. Angel Food, call it Angel Excursion. So yeah, thank you, Tim. That's a great idea. So
1 minute.
What 1 minute. Okay. So and we have the big deal. I cannot do the same route over and over and over again. It becomes a race if I do. I'm more into adventure than and then I also like to increase the mileage as the year goes on. And so it ranges anywhere from what you see there. There's the short and sweet, there's Grays Bay Dam, the headwaters of the Minnehaha Creek, Tour de Termin, where we visit 8 spots where there's Termin art display, Sahaki Park in Robbinsdale, Frank Lloyd Wright houses. There's 3 Frank Lloyd Wright houses in Minneapolis. Tulips and Daffodils, that's a spring ride. And the Beehive Barbecues is another one where you don't have to go overseas to see historic stuff. You can see ruins right here in Minnesota. These Beehive Barbecues are pretty cool. And a lot of them are restored. The Minneapolis-St. Paul viewing area is a cool ride too. You actually ride underneath tunnels underneath the runways. As you get to the viewing area, it used to be this, but now it's a cell phone lot. The cell phone lot is a cell phone lot now, but the viewing area is different. So okay, but it's in the same parking lot as Eric's. Yeah, you might recognize Texatonka. It's Angel Food. There, I'm giving the ride briefing. Here's the Tour de Termin. There's a Sahaki. There's the headwaters of the Minnehaha Creek. There's the Tulips and Daffodils ride. There's the Beehive ride, and that's it. I'm done.
Thank you, Mike. What's so amazing is that we sometimes hear the titles angelic excursion or the whole enchilada and not realize how many routes take place within those rides. Faith's Ride Minneapolis, there are a number of series, and it's really exciting to see all this stuff and something that we need to kind of let people know about. And on that tune, we've got Mr. Lyle Krolik coming up, who's talking about the Shoreview to Somewhere series, a sea ride out of the Northwest Metro.
There we go. Wouldn't let me unmute. Yep, this is the Shoreview to Somewhere. Starts every Monday morning from the Shoreview Community Center. Susan Harvey and I have been leading that. Well, we started last year, and Susan Harvey does most of the leading now, and I just tag along, which is great. Like Mike and a lot of others, I don't like to do the same route every week, so I looked at last year's calendar, and we had about a dozen routes, at least a dozen routes that we picked. Some of the destinations are Long Lake Park in New Brighton, Kodiak Park, Columbia Heights, Wargo Nature Center, Tamarack Nature Center. Let's see, if it's really windy, we just do a zigzag route on the trails in Shoreview and Vadnais Heights. And sometimes we ride around Marshon Lake. And if we're lucky, we get to see white pelicans there during the summer. Even though it's the route isn't announced until a day or so before the ride. By Sunday evening, you can hop on the website, and Susan will have posted a ride with GPS link for whatever we're gonna do that week. Since the sea ride, we average about 11 miles per hour, depending on the group. Faster riders are always welcome to go on ahead, and that's about it. It's been a fun ride, and we usually get a pretty good turnout. And since I've got a little extra time here, I want to put in a plug for something else that happens in Shoreview. There's a ride called the Shoreview Tour de Trails, part of a Shoreview Slice of Shoreview celebration. And this year the ride is on Sunday, July 26th. The long route is 22 miles. Registration is $8 a person, and you get a t-shirt. So it's one of the better bargains on the organized rides. That's all I have.
Thank you, Lyle. Fantastic. Okay, we've got the next, the Park to Park with Mary Miller in the Northwest Metro, a ride that's been going on for many years. And
okay. I joined the club in 2004 and became a ride leader the following year. So that's somewhere around 22 years. Park to Park's a long established B and BC route. I'm presently leading the B along with a group of leaders in Mike's absence. Is there a reverb going on here?
A little bit,
Yeah,
Mary.
Mike hears it.
Do you have two audio? Do you have two things going on, Mary, or just one?
Only one.
Okay. Just continue on.
Well, I can't. I don't think it's a wise idea. It's not good for the recording.
We hear you fine. We hear you fine.
It's good now.
Okay. Anyway, there may be a sea ride option as well. The rides are every Friday from North Mississippi Regional Park and were originally established by John Ford some 18 years ago. And since that time, Ed Hassler led the ride for quite a few years until he gave it over to Mike. And Mike Beatles has done wonders with it, many different routes. So we really miss Mike's leadership. Right now, the route is pretty stable. And I'm just the organizer and one of 4 leaders in his absence. The ride ranges in size from 5 to 15 riders, and it shines with quality streets through quiet neighborhoods and mostly good bike trails. We hit the trails of Shingle Creek, Rush Creek, and wind our way through Elm Creek Park Reserve with quite a variety of terrain. It's essentially a north-south route, except for the Rush Creek Trail. And with all the bike trails, even on very windy days, we're not long bothered by the wind as we twist and turn our way along residential streets and wooded trails, which are both scenic and fun with curves and hills to both thrill and challenge. On our way back, we get more time along the Mississippi River, crossing over at the Coon Rapids Dam, and then following the trail system.
1 more minute.
We take 2 significant breaks, a shorter break at wonderful Elm Creek Chalet with great restrooms and space to cool off, and then a longer break for lunch in Coon Rapids with great outdoor seating as well as AC inside. We average around 13 to 14 miles per hour average and try to keep it to a solid B pace. It's a great opportunity to get to know other TC members with those great breaks. And our parking lot there at North Mississippi Regional Park has been really safe. We haven't had any problems with break-ins or theft. So we're very thankful. And I just want to say one more thing, and that's to give Larry Brown thank you for his humor. And I also do a lot of Johnny Pugh's rides, and I have to tell you, I think he's our bike ride trainer. Lots of hills. If there's a hill, we're going to do it. Thank you all.
Thank you, Mary. I'm glad that you're doing this ride and keeping it going. So, all right, our next speaker is John Benda, who's going to brief us on the new member ride series.
Okay, thank you, Dan. Let's see. We've been doing the new member ride for 5 years now. When I was on the board a few years ago, we noticed that we have quite a few people that decide on a Saturday night or something that it'd be a good idea to join a bike club. So they join the club and then they never do a ride, or they do 1 or 2 rides and that's it. So we thought we'd try to level the playing field a little bit and offer this new member ride. It's very social. We stop multiple times to keep people together. So we post it just like a regular ride. But then we also, Christy from membership sends me the list of everybody that's joined the club in the last year, all their emails. So we send them a all an email inviting them to the ride, and that seems to help turnout. We usually have between 15 and 20 people that join the ride. Dan Miller, our host here, he does the routes. Dan, by the way, is an expert on the history and geography of Minneapolis, especially north and northeast. So when we stop to regroup, he always has something to tell us about the development of the Midtown Greenway, or we stop at a number of different uh, benchmark places along the Greenway. We stopped for the last couple of years. We've gone to the Sculpture Garden, took a picture in front of one of the art pieces there. We go by the Stone Arch Bridge, West River Road. So some people, especially people that come in from the suburbs to go on the ride, they're seeing things that they know about them, they've heard of them, but they haven't actually ever been there. So it's pretty cool. And we start and end from the market at Malcolm Yards. So it's also a good place to end because then we have some social time there. We might invite people to stay for lunch and a beverage or whatever they want to do. Dan, do you have anything you want to add to that?
No, I think you're doing a great job, John. I think my goal there is to hear somebody that's seen something they haven't seen before.
Yeah. So I really appreciate your help with it. And another thing is a number of veteran riders do come and ride the ride with us. Some people on the call tonight, Mary Miller, Edward, uh, Gene Bentley has been on the ride a bunch of times. So if you'd like to just come and have an easy ride that's social and share some of your wisdom with new riders to the club, come and join us. We run it once a month during the summer. So May through October, we'll schedule it 6 times this summer. Okay, thanks.
Okay. And our last speaker of the evening is Mr. Tim Rand, who's going to speak about the Pink Express and the Turtle Bread rides up in Roseville and Minneapolis. Take it away, Tim.
Okay, well, thank you, everyone. Some wonderful rides that I've learned about tonight. I hope to see you on. The Pink Express has been going a long, long time, probably 20 years or more. And it has different variations. Right now, we've got the 2.1 version that Tom Melcher and Edward are co-leading. And that goes up Victoria and down through some lakes on some trails, but it's mainly roads. And the common thread is that you always go around Bald Eagle Lake unless you take the shortcut. And the other common thread is that we have a rest stop in White Bear Lake, either at the Caribou or Cup and Cone, according to your preference and the weather. Last year I started a different variant called the Grass Lake edition of Pink Express, and this restores the 2 Vadnais lakes on the return trip, and it goes on the Grass Lake Trail both directions. It's more trails, more bumpy roads, more sightseeing, a little bit slower. It's a BC ride. And the second ride, or the third, I should say, ride I'd like to talk about is the Longfellow Turtlebread ride. This is another Tom Melcher ride. He's enjoying Italy right now. I was pretty excited to be able to start it this year, but unfortunately I did some previewing, and there's a lot of construction on the Nicollet Avenue Bridge for the Minnehaha Trail. And I couldn't find an obvious detour, so we haven't started that ride yet, but hopefully we'll be able to do it in the future. It's similar to the Wayboon ride that is also on Monday, but the Turtlebred ride is on Thursday. So some of the same riders go to each ride, and they go around all of the Minneapolis lakes, Nokomis, Cedar Lake, Bidema, and Lake Harriet, and also along the Minnehaha Trail. And we start and end at Turtlebred, so it's a great place to have lunch and socialize. And that's all I got. Thank you.
Thank you, Tim. So that concludes the presentations we had tonight. And now we're into murky waters of how to deal with a question and answer or things that people might want to bring up. I would just like to thank all the speakers and expanding my understanding of just where rides are in TCBC today. We really need to I need to get out of my shell and be able to drive a little bit um, to help these rides out, to be part of it, and to thank the leaders that are doing this. So I'll open it up there. I think there's not a lot in the chat that I saw, and
Dan, there is one question on is a Juneteenth ride in the works?
A Juneteenth ride is in the works, and I'm figuring it out. We're it's likely to be Southside based, and another return to the I'm going to get it wrong here, the Southside Soul presentation on June 19th. Probably over to George Floyd Square and other things to be determined.
I didn't see anything else in chat. Unless people have questions, please go ahead and type them in.
So someone asked about whether there's
Oh,
up there about whether there's going to be any rides by the state downtown by the stadium. Are there any rides that leave from downtown or close by?
yeah, check the calendar. I live
Wednesday,
downtown also, and there's not that many that I know of.
Wednesday from Webster's close.
Yeah.
I like to just point out that the ride from Webster that Faith does is northeast of downtown a few miles, but she travels the riverfront a lot and with a number of different rides. So this is something to check out. She has those on her ride calendar with the different routes, and worth taking a look at.
Well, as a randonneur, I would also say Malcolm Yards are probably close to downtown Minneapolis, so that's close enough for me. One comment that I have, I really have to retire. I checked out some of those rides, the ones that sounded interesting. Oh, Monday 10 a.m., Tuesday 10 a.m. or so. I was hoping it would be maybe like 5 p.m. and then I would join from my commute there, but yeah, not yet. So gotta retire.
Okay. Dan, anything else? I don't see any other questions, so we'll wrap things up here.
I think Mary wants to.
Oh, go ahead, Mary.
Just take the mic.
Oh, sure, how nice. Oh, there it comes. But Bob Gambrill is really drawing quite a number of riders for the BC level of park to park. And he's doing a really great job at it. And I think he goes 27 miles. And also Faith and her crew of leaders is really excellent.
Great. Well, I want to really thank Dan Miller for organizing and moderating this program tonight. Really worked out well. Great job, Dan, and also to all the speakers for staying on time and for John to keep us uh, uh, at the right time pace. But I think I echo, we learned a lot about some rides that I haven't been on that I'd be anxious to try now. So thank you all for attending. The recording will be up shortly after it's uploaded to our TCBC YouTube channel. The link will be in the notes for this session on the BikeU webpage. Also, please remember to fill out the survey. If you just go to the top of the chat, there is a link there. And just go ahead and link to it right now. And please fill out the survey. That really helps us. Just takes a few minutes.
That would be greatly appreciated because I think that we want to try to do this again. And, this is our first time out. We winged it in a lot of ways and got some things right and probably can improve. And it would be great to hear your comments. So thank you.
Yeah, from my perspective, though, Dan, it was a great job because I was worried about the timing of everything, but it really worked out well. The TCBC BikeU Council of Regents is working on other sessions for the fall, so if you have ideas, please let us know, and we will discuss them at our next meeting. We'll be off till the springtime now. We usually take the summer so we can enjoy as much rides and rather than being in meetings. So thank you again for attending, and we hope to see you again next time.